Hey everyone. So, I am tired of just laying in my bed all day. Oh, it's super windy, so I want to finish this right here. Anyway, I'm tired of laying in my bed constantly, so I'm gonna go for a walk to Subway, get some food, and come back. And that's how we're gonna start today, because I have a checklist, and I'm gonna get that checklist done. So, I started out today with some yoga, got myself all stretched out, so now I'm gonna go walk, get some food, and come back. So I will see y'all in a little bit. Whew, okay. So, I just finished what would be, I think, about 2 hour, 1.5 hour walk. And, yeah, I went, I went to go to Subway, and then I went inside the grocery store to see what they had just for future notice, or future reference, I should say. And, yeah, they had a lot of good deals, and most of it I couldn't carry back, so I got the few that I could carry back. And I couldn't record along the way because it was super windy, but the last 3 minutes of the walk, wind was everywhere around me, but not on me. So the Texas heat hitting me as I'm walking, and I'm watching the wind go all around me, blowing other people's hairs just out of the way, and me, I'm just not even getting hit. I'm just like, this really sucks. So, yeah, that was my adventure in walking today. But I exercised, so there goes one thing off my checklist. So the checklist I was mentioning, it's this thing I'm trying to do where I have my plan for each day, so that way I just don't go with the wind, kind of. Just, I don't know, just keep me focused and keep the motivation up, kind of thing. So for today, it was get out of bed, go get food, go grocery shopping, / make a list for future grocery shopping. And I did all that. And then I came back home, and now this hair is about to leave because whenever the past couple days it felt really like bleh, and my hair hurt, if that makes sense. Like my scalp was hurting, and my hair is like super thick, right? So like whenever the wind hit it along the walk and everything, it didn't move. It felt like my head was being pulled back, and I'm like, yeah, it's about time for this to get going. So I'm gonna do a haircut later, because I do my own haircuts because it's free. And yeah, that's what I got planned so far for today. I will come back to y'all later. So here's the new look. I kind of did the fade that I normally have, but just much shorter on everything. It's growing on me. Haha. But yeah, at first it was like, I don't know. That's gonna take some time getting used to again. But I did it because that's me. I am the shaved head boy. That's just how I've held my hair for so many years, and I was kind of tired of holding that much weight on my head because it really messed with my neck a little bit. And I know hair doesn't weigh that much, but it felt weird and off, so I just got rid of it. Now I feel much better. My head's much more clear. So yeah, that was that. And then had I had a Chinese for dinner tonight, so pretty stuffed because fried rice goes a long way. So does orange chicken. Love that stuff. That is my meal of choice. I would eat that every single day for the rest of my life if I could, with no consequences, but that's not how that works. So yeah, that's all I got for now, and I'll be back in a little bit for a recap of today. So see ya. Hey everyone, welcome back. Today was a good day. It was busy. I got a lot of stuff done. There was one thing I didn't get done, but that's okay. There's always tomorrow, because tomorrow is Saturday, and for some reason I thought today was Thursday. But, you know, days blend into other days. as time goes on. So, yeah. Whew. I was shown a sermon. That's what I'm looking for. I was shown a sermon today from YouTube that was talking about being okay with not being okay, and it's okay to express you're not being okay. Which that was something I needed to hear, because while I like to show my vulnerability, I also tend to hide it real easily as like a defense mechanism kind of thing. So it's like my nature to like share part of me one moment, and then when I feel like I'm better, I just stop sharing it completely when I'm still dealing with it, kind of thing. And I kind of opened my eyes to like, I'm still dealing with quite a bit. And I'm still not okay with my close friend passing away a few weeks ago. I'm still not okay with the events that happened because of it. And I'm not okay from all the stress and anxiety I had this past semester trying to get through it. So I still have all this, like, all these repairs I have to do. And although I'm getting to a place that's functional now, where I can do daily things okay, I still have to go through the wreckage that is my mindscape and slowly piece it back together. And what stops me from doing that is convincing myself that I'm okay because I'm not hurt or anything, when that's not true. Because the fact that I can't listen to the song I covered the right way anymore, or I see a tagline on wrestling that me and my friend Lance used to make jokes about, like that I can't listen to that without laughing and then going to crying. Like it's still there, and I haven't, I guess, properly dealt with it yet. Because what I've noticed is that when something bad happens, my first reaction is to help those around me. And a couple years ago, on my birthday, I had a family member pass away, and it hurt, but I wasn't really close to him, so it didn't hurt as bad as it hurt the other family members around me. So I put my hurt aside to help those around me, to make sure they're okay, without ever make sure I was okay. And the same goes for when Chester Bennington of Linkin Park passed away to suicide. Like, that hurt a lot too, because my first CD I ever bought was Hybrid Theory back in 2000. That was a gift from my mom. Or it wasn't really bought, that was the first one I listened to intently. That was like a moment my mom and I shared together, was Linkin Park, and that's what got me really into it. And I don't really know what okay looks like. Like, I see all these posts that when you're able to talk about something that's been really traumatic without crying, like, you're fully healed from it. There's something about that just kind of puts me off, and I just don't know what it is. I feel like no matter how traumatic it is, if you're talking about it, that means you're on the right track. Because some people can talk about things that are super traumatic, but they're still not okay. They're not fully healed from it. They've just become numb to it. So just because they're not crying doesn't mean they're not okay. Like, I could talk about my struggles with depression and suicidal thinking, because while I'm over that, it's still there. Like, the suicidal thinking's gone, but like depression's still there. And I have my anxiety spills from time to time when something seems overwhelming and daunting. I don't really take the steps to start it. Like, the E3 video I was going to do, there was a lot of things I want to do to it, but I don't know how to do any of it because I'm trying to use different software, and the new software is giving me a lot of issues as I'm trying to use it. And it frustrates me, and then I get in my head, it's like, oh, this is going to work out, it's going to suck, it's just, I'm terrible at this, I should not even try, kind of thing. You know, that's just on the scale of things I have anxiety about, that's like something small compared to other things. Like, there's days, like, I'll get a paycheck, and I know exactly where all it goes, because all my paychecks are spoken for, kind of. Like, I've always lived literally skating on by, like, paycheck to paycheck. Like, when I get a big paycheck, that goes to rent. When I get a small paycheck, that goes to groceries. And never really do anything for myself. And sometimes the small paychecks get taken up by something else that had to happen. Like, fall of last year, I broke my right wrist, and I had to go get x-rays and a brace on it. And, you know, the medical system here in America kind of sucks. So it was kind of expensive. And I have just enough to make sure I'm alive, kind of thing. And I've been okay with that for a while, and then just as of lately, it's just getting to be a bit much. There's nothing really I can do about that, because I work 3 separate jobs, just 2 of them are not that... I guess you say 2 of them aren't dependable, but only when school is in session. And I'm also trying to get myself in a good mental place for the master's program, so I don't go in with the broken mindset I had the past semester, because that would only lead me to destruction. And I don't want to quit because of mental issues. I want to go as far as I can until I literally can't anymore, like physically. And by that I mean like financially. Like, if for some reason finances didn't work out, then okay, I know that's my time to leave, kind of thing. But yeah, that finance has always been an issue, and I don't ever like asking for help, because that's just, I guess it's a pride thing. It's not so much I'm afraid to ask, it's just, I guess it is a little bit of fear at asking, because I just don't want to show that kind of vulnerability. There's only a few people I've shown that with, and I always hate it. I hate it so much, because there's nothing I can do to repay them, at least not in that moment. It would have to be like a month and a half before I was able to repay it. But having debt looming over your head's never a good feeling, so I guess it's just more me voicing my issues, or something like a therapy session. But that leads to the point of it's okay to not be okay, and how to combat not being okay is A, accepting not being okay, and B, being vocal about not being okay. I'm a Christian, but I try to teach my lessons in a kind of a non-religious way, because I know not everyone that will watch this is going to be a religious person. So a quick and easy answer for a religious person is, well, the way this is going to blend together for both non-religious and religious, right? You have to find people that you superbly trust, like if you have a group of 9 friends, right? One example was the story of when Jesus is about to be crucified and everything, and he was in the garden, right? He has his 12 disciples. He brought 9 with him, but he only spoke deeply to 3. And in society today, you either have friends or you're labeled a loser, right? So, let's say you're in high school, right? You have these cliques, right? And even if you denied that there's no such thing as cliques, well, there are cliques. There's just groups that people stay together and they don't branch out. A lot of them will be like fake friends, and a lot of people that have just a big group of fake friends, they voice their problems and make themselves feel better, kind of thing. While airing your problems is great, having someone to hold you accountable to make sure you get those problems fixed, or at least taken care of to a point, is even better. Which is why Jesus had the 3. And I'll probably butcher that story a little bit with the garden he was in, but having close friends to rely on is always a good thing. Like, I have a ton of friends, but there's only a small handful that I will confide into, because they're the ones that have seen me in my weakest when I didn't choose them to see that. So it's all about trust, and I definitely have trust issues because of a lot of things I've been through in my life. But I have figured out how to trust certain people with certain information, because I know they'll know some way to fix it, or some way to at least help me find my footing while I'm dealing with it, kind of thing. Because I guess I have a weird way of looking at friends, but every person I come in contact with, they teach me something different. And I have a close friend for different issues or different areas of my life. I don't really have one that goes through everything, because I really haven't found one that can go through everything. It's weird. Or maybe that's just how friendship works. I don't know. I'm no expert on that. I'm just speaking from my own experience. But, like, my friend Lance and I, we had our WWE group. We talked about certain things in that group that I wouldn't talk about in other groups. Like, I have a main friend group, another main friend group, but just with different people. I have all these different friend groups, and some of them interweave with each other, but that's not their whole purpose. They interweave and make it a bigger group, and just smaller sections kind of thing. Like, when I go back home at my home church, I have a friend group there, because those were the people that took me to church when I was away from church, and those were the people that showed me what the community looked like before I figured out which one I wanted to be in when I got back to college. And now going to a master's program, I have to kind of do that all over again. And it's kind of like another reset button, which, after a while, you get so connected to so many things, it's kind of hard to reset, unless those things around you leave. And, well, most of my friends graduated and left, or is about to. So I kind of forced to reset. Not entirely, because I have the few super trustworthy that I need around me. But there is coming to a point where I need a little more than what I have, if that makes sense. Because you change and grow as you grow older, and your issues start to change to where only certain people will understand. And I have friends that are Christians as well, that are super hardcore in their faith, kind of like me. But I also come from a different background than they do. And that gets kind of hard to explain some things, because I'm this like edgy Christian guy, right? I like Linkin Park. I listen to things that aren't religious. I play things that aren't religious. I watch things that aren't religious, right? And all these things that would probably be demonized by like the super preppy Christians, I like use in different ways that I could show God's light through. Like video games in general, I see that as a term I like to use is secular, which is basically non-religious in a nutshell, but it's a very secular object, right? Like anytime a Christian tried to make a Christian game on it, though, it didn't really work out too well. It didn't look that great because yes, there is a market out there for Christian gamers, but it's not big enough to be on the level of, say, Call of Duty, or what's another big title out there? Can't think of it right now. Battlefield. I'm thinking of first-person shooters. What are other big? The Witcher, or movies like The Avengers, right? Like we don't see big Christian movies that way, and music we don't see big Christian names either, other than like Chris Tomlin or Lauren Daigle, but that's because she stirred up some controversy because she was speaking for her faith in a different way than what other Christians view their faith. And like that's stepping out and speaking love towards other people. That's how you make a name for yourself. And some people just can't see past this whatever flaw that there may be or there is. Like they can't see past that to love the person kind of thing. And that irks me. You should love everyone equally, no matter what they're doing or what's going on. Anyway, that was my tangent for the night. So, moral of the story, it's okay to not be okay. Just make sure you have your close friends nearby and have them help make sure you're gonna be okay. And yeah, that's what I got in terms of a message for tonight, and yeah. I think that's about all I got in my head right now, because I spoke everything that was on my mind, and now I can't think of anything else. Because it's, what is it? It's 10:12? Yeah, shaving my head's kind of making me a little airy-headed today, which is great. That means there was a big issue having that much hair on my head. I try to tell my best friend that I'm not meant to have long hair. I try, and it feels like a brick on my head. And, she doesn't believe me. Well, she can get over it. Anyway, thank y'all for watching, and hope y'all enjoyed. Please like, share, subscribe, and I will see y'all in the next one. See ya.